It's been said that the Citizen watch is the Rolex for the poor man. As we build this watch, I want to challenge that thought. We should just admire quality for what it is, quality. Today we're going to build the Eagle 7 by Citizen. This watch was developed and manufactured in the early 1970s and continued to be manufactured well into the 80s. This is good news for the watchmaker. There's an abundance of replacement parts, and with some patience and some time, you can research and find the parts you need to build your own Eagle 7. The Eagle 7 used a 8205 caliber movement by Miyota. All of the 8200 series movements have the similarity of the automatic winder, but the 8205 had the day-date feature. Even though the 8200 series was first manufactured in the 1970s and probably developed in the 1960s, it's still being manufactured today and is a workhorse. It's rugged, and it does the most important thing. It keeps accurate time. Even though it's a 1970s design, it had 21 jewels in it, and the accuracy still rivals today's manufacturing of mechanical watches. There's definitely more complicated movements, but at the end of the day, the thing that matters most is, does it keep time? The simplicity of the movement is what makes it so elegant. I think that's why so many watchmakers are drawn to it. This is a remnant of a Eagle 7 that we picked up off of eBay. It was pretty bad. No one had ever taken care of it, ever serviced it. And we decided to salvage what we could and see if we could rebuild it. So we were able to salvage the dial and then also the rotor weight on the back. I ended up not using the Citizen rotor and just left the original Miyota from this movement on. When you step back and look at it through the back window of the new housing, it's just awesome. After looking at it, you can understand why Miyota calls it their signature standard movement. It doesn't matter how many watches you put together. If you get a little excited, you can make some mistakes and get ahead of yourself. I got so excited wanting to see the dial face through the glass of the case that I overshot just a little bit, and I forgot to put the plastic spacer ring around the watch. So I had to backtrack, remove the dial. I didn't have to remove the little screws, so that was probably the hardest part of the whole deal. But it does look good. So not all is wasted. The case is what drawed me to this build. There's an elegance to this. It's the lines, the symmetrical shapes. It looks like what a watch is supposed to look like. And those lines will remain timeless for pretty much ever. The 8205 movement has an accuracy rating of negative 20 seconds per day up to a positive 40 seconds per day. However, if you really work on this watch, especially after you let it break in and then come back and service it, it's really easy to find these watches that are only losing 1 to 2 seconds a day. During the time frame of this watch was probably around the late 1970s, early 1980s is when this watch was made. They were primarily sold in Asia. There were not a lot of them sold in the United States. I don't think there were a lot of them imported yet. They were sold in China, South Korea, Vietnam. They were sold in, obviously in Japan. And you will find a lot of these that have made it back to the United States by service members. So military members would be stationed in Japan or South Korea or some other port. And it was kind of a tradition in the military to go out and buy a nice watch. And this is actually, I think, how Citizen became such a popular brand, because service members are not known to be nice to their watches. And they built these watches and they were rugged. Citizen just, made the name for themselves of being just a really rugged, tough watch. This is before such a thing of luxury watches. I guess there was luxury watches at the time, but even Rolex at that time didn't have the luster that it has today. Rolex now is considered just to be an absolutely super luxury watch. But this is how the Citizen watch, became such a status symbol among service members. And then I think they come back to the States and, they were going to the local jewelry shops asking about Citizens. And then these watches had to be serviced. And, the local jewelry shops started realizing the quality of the watches. So when the salesman for Citizen came, they were already accustomed to the brand from the service members bringing the watches in. So that part of the history just absolutely fascinates me. And it's also what makes this such a, just a nostalgic piece for me. You can see here that I am measuring my stem distance as far as making my cut. And just to be transparent, I did go through two of them. I don't care how many times you've done this, there's always that opportunity to cut it too small or cut it too long. Better to cut it long, you can always take a little more off. So I ended up doing this, and then once I got it right, I filed the little burrs off, and then it was time then to put a little bit of the Loctite on it. And I use a red Loctite. I don't mean for it to ever come off again. And I think these, if it was a really expensive watch, like a Rolex or something like that, and you're trying to keep it 100% original, then obviously you would be different. But, the winding knobs are easily found and replaced. So it's pretty much, wasn't a concern. I just didn't want it to come off. I also went with this Citizen watch back. It's an aftermarket Citizen back. I guess it's aftermarket. It has Citizen on it, but it was a clear back, and I went with that back. I just think the automatic movement is enjoyable to see. So the stem has two settings. You pull it out to the first setting and you go down and it'll change the date. And if you turn it up, it'll change the day. So, and then obviously if you pull it all the way out, you can actually change the time. It's absolutely really starting to look good here, minus the fingerprints. I see that. So this is what I was talking about earlier when you put it on the time graph. A good operating 8200 series movement will really get accurate. Now you'll see my amplitude is a little low, and that's okay, because it'll break in and we'll service it again, and I guarantee that'll come up. I'm glad we were able to breathe a little life into this watch. We were able to reuse the case and the dial face. We ended up not using the counterweight, but that's okay. I love the clear back, and I love how the whole thing turned out. It's just a beautiful watch.